Hi, everybody, and welcome to this second episode in this third season of a Justice Seeking Church here at Shoreline Methodist Community. The great thing about this space, these programs, is it's about linking people up. It's about hearing story of how people, wherever they are involved in justice, are involved in doing God's work. Today, we have Chef Netta. She's going to join us and tell us the story of Spring Forest. Netta, how are you doing?
I'm doing so well, Wayne. How are you? I'm happy.
Well, what a fabulous start. You're happy. That's a good start. Now, you have a grand title of Director of Food and Nutrition Program of Spring Forest. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So I am a director, but I really don't have many people directing to direct, but that's okay because we're growing. And so basically anything to do with food, food systems, food journeys, food education, food practices, I'm doing. So at Spring Forest, we have a beautiful, not garden, but it's more of a farm. And so I am in my kitchen space, and we are creating from the land a meal. So I'm directing food and then also ushering in nutrition as people come to our different programs.
Okay. So, can you tell us a little bit more about Spring Forest?
Absolutely. So it's located in North Carolina, United States. It is a city called Hillsborough, which, if you live there, is quite quaint. It is kind of far away from the hustle and bustle from Durham, but it's in the same county as Chapel Hill, which is, where the university is. But it is where a lot of retired writers, lawyers, doctors kind of live. And so when you drive through it, you'll see a lot of like just beautiful houses, well manicured yards, a lot of farmland. And we are directly across the street from a horse farm where they train horses.
Yeah.
And so when you kind of travel along the road, you already get a sense of this is going to be peaceful. This is going to be what I need. And as soon as you turn into the property, I'm biased, but I feel that we definitely, over exceed that expectation. Because as soon as you drive in, we have two different like driveways, both are gravel. So there's something about driving into gravel that already kind of sets your kind of mind to know that this is going to be lovely. It's going to be peaceful. It's going to be slow, right? Because versus driving on pavement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd love on your website. And by the way, if you want to find out more, either scan the QR code or click, go on to springforest.org. But I love on your website how you call it a pharmacistry.
Yeah.
So can you unpack that a little bit for us?
Sure. So we are, if you separate that word farmistry, we are a farm, and then we're also like a homesteader kind of vibe.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it's exactly what it sounds like. There is farmland. We have 23 acres. Actually, we just acquired another property, so we'll probably be closer to about 40. But it is farmland that has different housings on there. So you have a retreat house, there's a tiny house, there's a hermitage, there's a tent, there is a house where Elaine, who is the abbess, and her husband live. And so it's like this co housing shared space where the concept is whoever lives there is helping the land to grow.
Okay. And then you take the produce and use that in your ministry.
I do. I take the produce and use it in my ministry. I do not live on the farm, but I do come in. And so there's an outdoor kitchen that is under a gazebo and it has a three compartment sink. There is a flat top for us to make like flapjacks and, all kind of great things. We have several skillets. We have a smoker and we have like industrial stainless steel table. So it literally looks like you're walking into some type of like kitchen, like a restaurant kitchen, but we're outside. So I always tell people because we're outside, we will get the elements, right? You may have a bird that will chirp next to you. You may have, little critters around you, but this is what nature is at its finest. And this is also us coexisting together.
Nice, nice. Okay. So, from your point of view and from your community's point of view, what does justice look like?
From my point of view, justice looks like equal and providing for all. Um, so to me, food should not be something that only consists of a household if they have money. To me, it shouldn't be you shouldn't get nutritious food only if you have the means to. Food is a necessity.
Yeah,
It's not something that you should try to achieve to get. It's a necessity.
yeah,
Therefore, it should be there. So for myself, justice looks like me providing just that food to someone that has maybe from a low income household, or for someone that maybe has not seen a butternut squash or know what to do with it.
okay.
Justice is then showing them, not just giving it to them, because that's great that you can give it to them. But if they don't know what to do with it, guess where it's going to end up? In the landfill. So you really have done a disservice to them because you not only have given them something that they're not used to, but you haven't equipped them with how to best utilize it. So that to me is justice.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, are you seeing hope in that ministry?
I absolutely do. And I'm going to tell you, Wayne, exactly how I see it. So, we have a program on Wednesdays where it's a lot of preschoolers, typically because of the timing. Most kids are in school. So, we'll see a lot of preschoolers or babies with their parents, and they come out, they harvest, and we actually get the kids involved in the kitchen. So they are chopping the kale with, kid approved knives. They are pressing the blender because we're making smoothies for them. And with that involvement, what we see is a 3-year-old that otherwise wouldn't eat kale or even a tomato fresh off the vine is now popping it in his mouth. And what we're doing is introducing at a very early age food that maybe they're either not accustomed to or
Yeah,
what they have already created biases about.
yeah.
And I've seen that work from young. And then we also, on the other end of the spectrum, have worked with World Relief Organization, where immigrants that come from different parts of the world, they get settled and they don't know anything about housing or jobs or food or anything. But what we do is we focus on the food aspect and we bring them out to the farm, or we'll go to them in their setting and we'll have a free farmers market. And so they to choose, because there's something about when you are without having the option to choose, right? Instead of just being given a bag,
Yes.
there's an autonomy, there is a pride that is associated with that. So with their bags, they get to shop with the local produce that we're providing for them. And as they're shopping, me and Chef Shama, who I work with, we're creating a meal for them. So a prime example of that is we're growing a lot of okra, which I don't know if you're all familiar with okra here.
Ish,
Uh, okay.
ish.
We have a plethora of okra, and I grew up eating it, but others did not. And so I grew up eating it fried, where you would cut it, you would
Yeah.
season it, batter it, and fry it. And so I made it for these families that were from Afghanistan. One was from Mexico, the other one was from Kenya, and it was about 12 of them. And I just fried it up, gave it to them. There was
Mm,
a language barrier, right? But
mm,
at the end of the day, they all ate it and they loved it. And guess what? They ended up taking that okra home with them,
yeah.
and they then knew what to do with it.
Yeah.
So that's
And so,
justice.
so part of what I'm hearing is there's hope in hospitality.
There's so much hope. There is so much hope. I don't even see it as no hope. I see it as a challenge, and I see it as a mission.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I'm loving the image that I'm picking up about even when language is a barrier. there is something about sharing a table together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have worked in capacities where we've had an interpreter. So again, I'm going to go back to that world relief setting where it's different countries. Some people have interpreters, some people don't. But what
Yeah,
everyone understands is hand movement. So I'll point to them and say, hey, they know that means to chop. I'll point to them, I'll smile, and I'll say,
yeah,
maybe stir. They
yeah,
understand that. And one particular situation, a woman was from Mexico, and I was preparing a Peruvian dish that was very similar to hers. So she jumped up. I don't speak Spanish. She didn't really speak well, English, but she jumped up, got the tomatoes, came from behind, and started chopping up stuff to put in the blender. And then she was walking around to different tables of people and telling them, this is what we call it here. This is what we call it here. And what we saw was a liveliness of people that live in the same neighborhood.
yeah,
They coexist, but they don't know each other's name because everybody goes to what they're comfortable with, their own pods.
yeah. And again, there's just, I do love, sometimes I'm a little obsessed, but it's the power of food, the power that sort of binds us together. And when we discover, um, and that that nature of sharing as well, that gift. I love that. You've sort of said, but I'd like you to dig a bit deeper with us. So, where are you actually seeing God at work in this?
I see God at work in so many arenas. It's going to be a longer answer. I see God at work when I see people light bulb go off. I see God at work when I see the smiles on their face. We work with kids, not only at the farm, but we're going into communities as well. We're
Yeah,
going into schools. We are going into, conferences, and we're sharing the gift of food and how to. I see it when I'm chopping up something and they taste it and they say to me, I normally don't like,
yeah,
okra, but this is really good. Or when I made the mac and cheese here and I put all the cheese in there and people were like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of cheese. But when they tried it, they loved it. So I see God at work because God is this omnipotent, God, and He sees all, but we don't. And so
mhm,
we limit ourselves oftentimes by not believing that we can go a step further or that there's a next, journey for us. And it's very similar to food. We limit ourselves with food. We see something maybe like a purple, we have purple potatoes, and we may limit ourselves by saying,
yeah,
oh my gosh, it's a purple potato. I don't want that. That's disgusting, right? We've already limited ourselves in our mind that is not going to be good. But very much like God, if you believe and if you trust, and we would say in the South,
yeah,
taste and see his glory. And if you go and taste this purple potato, you just may like it. And if you just may like it, you just may be open to then trying a purple cauliflower
yeah,
or, getting a squash or you're getting something very unfamiliar that you're used to. So I would say that's how I see God working
yeah,
bit by bit.
yeah. I love that. We
Thank
have a
you.
thing here that food sometimes can just be beige and just be bland. And yet, again, you've just painted that, which is a metaphor for lots of things, isn't it? But a rainbow plate,
Yeah,
where it's made up of sort of diversity and colors and textures and tastes. Well, actually, isn't life just a rainbow? And sometimes we limit ourselves and limit God at work in us and through us. Um,
absolutely.
nice,
And
nice.
you said something, Wayne, and I'm gonna kind of put in my nutrition brain. When I was in school, I took a course on food, particularly from around the country and or the world, excuse me, around the world. So, like a lot of Asian cultures, they like a lot of gummy things,
Yeah,
right? In the U.S., we like a lot of sweet things and cakey things. But this particular book focused on mouthfeels. And they said that if you were to get one meal that had different textures, it could be crunchy, soft, salt, salty, it could be gummy, and you ate this one meal, you are more likely to be satisfied and
Mm.
not wanting more to eat because you've had all of these feels in your mouth. And so basically, your mouth is working,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
to fulfill your stomach, which then means by the time that you finish all of the textures, you're satisfied. And that's again relating to what we're talking about. You're satisfied when you've had the layers of God's interworkings.
yeah. Nice, nice. I'm going to put the QR code up and put your website up. Is there a way that we can help, that we can support the ministry of Spring
Um,
Forest?
Oh, that would be excellent. On our website, so first of all, we have different ministries. We have a children's ministry that is a free program. We do this very intentionally. We've gone to the drawing board several times after 4 years and said, should we start charging people to come out? And we all felt very strongly that no, because what we don't want to do is limit anybody. If someone can donate, that's great. But when you come out, you're actually not getting a snack, you're getting a meal. We make smoothies for them. We make typically 3 or 4 courses for them, and we provide. And with that, we have a children's garden. So we always are looking for donations as it relates to the children's garden because, as we know, they are our future. But we also, as we are in the field, we're going to different communities and we're finding that there's a lack of need, for so many things. Maybe it's a raised bed, maybe, is baskets so that way they can carry the food. So I would just encourage everyone on here to go to our website. I do believe, I know there's a donation location on our website, and it should be under, I believe it's under kids or families,
Yeah.
and you should see it, donate page. So yes, that would be greatly appreciated.
Brilliant, brilliant. And also, if you do visit the website, I know a rhythm of prayer is a huge part of your community, and you can find your latest prayers. So again, if you want to support the ministry through prayer and joining in, you can do that there. Netta, really appreciate you spending some time with us. I love the thought and the concept of chef as minister, as a
Oh,
ministry through food, through
yeah,
hospitality, because I know it's more than think, I know it's something an awful lot of people can get involved in. And again,
so
the way you've talked about it, the fact that embrace all people, invite them in, not to just receive, though that's a good thing, but be part of it. Can we produce? Can we liaise? Can we create spaces for community meals, where people who, I think we underestimate how many people never share meals with others,
yeah,
how many
yeah,
people sit and consume food.
right.
There's something about that grace at a table, that conversation, that welcome, that warmth. Um, yeah. So really appreciate you coming in and telling your story and inspiring us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, check out the website. This
Yes.
and I love. We need to finish, but I love that there's a link, bit of a Star Trek link. How you describe the community through the mycelium kingdom analogy. Go check it out. Loved it.
Oh,
Loved it, loved it, loved it. It's on the website. Go search. Netta, really appreciate it.
absolutely, Wayne.
May you continue to try. I know you've had a whole whirlwind across the UK doing all sorts of things. So I think when
Yeah.
you get back on that plane, you'll be exhausted and need just to go in and chill and rest. But
No, because
bless
as soon as I
you.
get back, I'll be going back to cook. So,
Yeah, and I've seen you've got a course coming up, so that's even better. Yeah,
yes.
good, good, good. Bless you and travel safe.
Thank you so much, Wayne.
God bless. Join us next week where we will be carrying on this whole community, this conversation of in response to the gospel message. What is yours to do? God bless.